Hello, Africa. My name is Eunice Tornyi, and you are watching the African Women's Voices show live on ETV Ghana. It will interest you to know that we are also live on Facebook at ETVGH. So if you're not watching me right now online, please get on Facebook and then log on, or tell someone who doesn't have an access to TV to just log on and watch us at ETVGH. We've missed you, and it's really good to be back again to be with you and to discuss issues pertaining to women as we contribute to national development. Today's topic is an interesting one, and I've got very smart and intelligent ladies who will be dissecting the issues for today. But I'm going to keep you in suspense, because I want you to know that ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices has got a lot of content on the side for you. We've been showing you some other topics all this while, and we were packaging something really interesting. So do not go anywhere. Just sit back and wait for me to introduce my guest and my wonderful topic. But I'll give you a tip on the iceberg. It is about the new normal. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Okay, when we come back, we'll be talking about it. But I've got some information for you from Happy FM and YFM. Within the GMA group, we are having special topics being addressed every month. Like in the month of April, we discussed, it was our E-Tech month. For May, it's going to be the Health and Sanitation Month on YFM, Happy FM, and ETV. So we are really indulging you to tune in every day as we give you information on the best waste management practices for home and businesses, health tips, diet tips, personal hygiene tips, and the latest updates on the coronavirus. We will also share some health myths and help you make the best decisions to ensure you live a healthy life and in a clean environment as well. If you would like to partner our Health and Sanitation Month at ETV Ghana, please call 020-2222-059 or 02428-84571 at ETV Ghana, your world of quality entertainment. Right now, we are going to be taking you over to the side of the 60 seconds update. And when we come back, the new normal will be discussed. Do stay with us.
The network of local elected women of Africa, with the French acronym RAFELA, has begun the education of market women on the coronavirus in the northern regional capital, Tamale. In Ghana, President Hajia Mariam Idrisu said the education of the women on COVID-19 is a part of their activities to empower women to protect themselves and their families. She said they hope NGOs they have written to would support them to achieve their goals. President applauds tardy market women. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo on Sunday, 26th April 2020, in his COVID-19 address to Ghanaians, applauded market women of Takoradi for practicing social distance in the market, when lots of markets in Ghana are struggling to create distancing. Market queens were given the task of ensuring sellers abide by the social distancing rules, and reports recalcitrant ones who failed to observe the protocols. Ghanaian female international footballer Priscilla Edubia is harboring dreams of winning the Africa Women's Footballer of the Year award. The Spain-based forward has already made a mark in Ghana after finishing as top scorer in the National Women's League on 2 successive occasions, a feat which earned her a contract to Spanish women's top-flight side Sporting de Huelva. She said, "It's a matter of time. The likes of Oshuala started just like me, and they are making it now, and I know my time will also come." Kerry Hilson recommends a song between Stonebwoy and Rihanna. The Ghanaian dancehall act featured the American singer on Nominate, a song on his new Unloga Junction album, which was released few days ago. During the press interaction with the fans, Rihanna's name popped up in the conversation, leading to Kerry Hilson answering a question from one of her fans about who she would love to see Stonebwoy work with. She said she would love to hear Stonebwoy and Rihanna because she's from Barbados, so they both will be able to vibe well.
Welcome back to the African Women's Voices show. This show is proudly brought to you by Voltic. And you remember they used to say that if you want to take water, do not say you want to take water, just say you want to take Voltic. So they are making sure that we are hydrated on the show. So before I went over to the side of the 60 seconds update, I mentioned that I had two smart and intelligent ladies who would be discussing something around the new normal. Okay, and I asked you a question, what the new normal is. If you said working from home is the new normal, then you're very smart and very right as well. We're going to be talking about how people are dealing with having to work from home from the lenses of someone who is working for someone and the lenses of a business owner. So, without further waste of time, let me introduce you to the gorgeous lady sitting right by me here. First is Kim. Kim, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right.
Hi.
Kim owns her own business and she's going to talk to us about it and how she runs it. And next to her, oh my God, you see the smile she's giving? See the smile she's giving? She's calm, cool, and collected, and that's because she's a banker. And we know bankers and this air around them. Well, we get to know if that's how it is with her. Please introduce yourself and what you do at your bank.
My name is Ania Lagbo. I'm a banker, usually what we call a senior dealer.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So how does it feel like having to work from home? Okay, let me just start. When the lockdown, was announced, did you belong to the department that had to start working from home immediately, or you belong to the part of people who had to still get to meet people on a daily basis?
I belong to a department that's quite sensitive, where working from home was going to be a new normal.
Okay.
Okay, so procedures, policies, things have to be made in place in order to enable all of us to make that happen. So we didn't start, we started gradually.
Okay, it was a gradual process.
Yes, please.
So at least she's got a lot to tell us about having to work from home, because right from the lockdown time, she had to work from home.
Yes.
Okay, Kim, over to you. You own your business. And what business is that?
Okay, so it's Colormax Ghana. We're into print, signages, and branding. So I run it with my partner.
Okay.
Yes. We were into branding, like I mentioned, and prior to this new normal, because it's a business we run, I run with a partner. It's running it virtually is a part of how we've had to run, because you're running your home alongside the business as well. And then the department I handle, which happens to be customer relationship, marketing, and business development, does not need your presence. So
Okay.
then you have to manage working in the office alongside working virtually. So it's been a part of it all along.
Okay, but I
through
want
the
to believe that
business.
customer relations, sometimes you need to be able to be there to, address their issues.
Yes.
So how are you having to deal with that? Let's start from when the lockdown happened.
Okay.
When you were not supposed to be going to work, because we remember that there were certain people who were exempted, like the bankers, people in the
Yes.
media, but people who own their own private businesses were not part of it. So
Okay.
it means that once it was announced, you had to start working from home.
From home.
And usually as clients, we like this, personal service. We want to feel like you're looking us in the eyes and understanding what it is that we are telling you. And this time, you're going to have to be doing it, via a phone or maybe via the internet. How did you have to do this?
Okay, so depending on what exactly had to be done, you're going to have to rely on emails, phone calls, as you mentioned. Unfortunately, for the finished product, for our finished product, so much as it's a combination of services and product, the finished product would always have to be delivered somewhat to the client. So then we needed to get to the point where you're mostly liaising on phone, on WhatsApp, on IG, and until you get to the point where delivery comes in, you don't really have to deal with the client. Whereas initially, you would probably have to ask the client to come over to the office, or you would have to go over with samples to go have all these discussions to seal whatever deal, because we offer personalized services. So you cannot just go with, okay, this is the cutout, a template of what it is. No, you need to sit with the client, come up with exactly what they need, and specialize it for them. So then it was important going to them at the time. But because we found ourselves in the situation where we can move, but still you need to work. We had to do most of it. There were times we had to get on WhatsApp video calls to show some samples because people want to feel textures of some of the products. And it wasn't easy, but we've had to adapt. We've had to adapt.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay. With the bank, the kind of business you were doing in the bank, is this something that had to do with only having to run within the bank, or it had to do with also interacting with clients as well?
Mainly interacting with clients, both physical, virtual. It has to do with clients.
So
Absolutely.
a lot of phone calls
A lot.
had to, you know.
So as soon as the social distancing was put, we had to put measures for us to stop that and increase the phone calls, checking up on clients, through video calls, any means, emails, to keep in touch with them.
Okay, so I don't know if maybe your line of business will be doing this, because she talked about sealing deals. And I'm just wondering, even though the banks were allowed to continue to work, this time around, were you able to get new clients at this time? Because I'm just wondering how people will want to, you know, open an account, you know, via phone conversations. Did it happen that way? Or your line of business doesn't have to?
Yes, it does. Do remember that before you, the relationship is built up upon a period of time. So for the client to open the account with you today or do seal a new deal with you today, it started from something that was previously established.
Okay.
Now, in this time, this is a time to stay closer to your client, even to your target client. Because see, when this is over, the client will remember the person who's stuck with them the most.
Definitely.
Yes.
I am one of them.
So being in the face of the client is something that we do on a daily. We literally live it. Being in the face of the clients, daily checkup, calling, text messages. I'm right here. If you need anything, we are here to assist. Even though there is a ban, the lockdown, whatever you need, we can make it happen. Just be in their faces.
Okay, so prior to the lockdown, you mentioned the fact that you had to do a lot of phone calls and everything. How easy was it to adjust? You know, even though you guys were asked to go home, before you were asked to go home, did you always remember what to do? Like you had to distance yourself, you don't have to shake your hands, you don't have to give yourself hugs. Because personally, I found it really difficult having to change from the way I used to be. I'm somebody who really, you know, appreciates hugs.
Sure.
And I think it took me quite a while to adjust to the new normal. But I don't know, from your side, what would you say?
We have a very energetic and young team. Okay, so getting used to no hands, no handshaking was a tough one. Trust me. We all come back to work and the next day, oh, come and get a hug, and you hear, stay away. Yes, we literally had to get ourselves. Remember that we were getting abreast with the news going globally. We knew how far this was going, and getting it to us back home was an eye-opener for us to sit up straight. And I'm happy the business really worked hard to pull us along, though it was difficult. There were reminders, there were emails, there were communications going around. Just try and keep distancing. At a point, we were exchanging. So a number of people will come to work, some will work from home. Just in order to get all of us ready in case the worst.
I think that was really commendable.
Yes,
you know, to have to rotate the staff to ensure that we have a good number of people that will take care of clients and still socially distance themselves.
Yes. And that was also where the trial for remote working started, actually, because once 2 or 3 of us are in the office, the rest of the team is working from home. We get to test what are the loopholes, what do we need IT to help us with, what needs to be, corrected. So in case there's a full lockdown, we can effectively and efficiently work from home.
Great. Okay, that's awesome. So we are moving now to what we're going to be discussing today. We have a background of, around what you do. We know that you're into advertising and marketing and printing, and you have to work, you are working with a bank. Now you're working from home, both of you. So how easy has it been? Okay, let's start from the fact that you're all family people, you've got children. So it's one aspect of, the challenge. How has it been having to work from home? Let me start with you, Kim.
It hasn't been easy. And it's still not easy. starting from, if you remember, the president first called off schools. So you couldn't go to school. Kids couldn't go to school. They had to stay home. And we were still working. So then you're stuck with kids. I have 3 kids, all under 6 years. And I had to, and I don't have a nanny. So my most active hours are when they are in school. When they're dropped off in school, that's when I get to do most of what I have to do. When I pick them up, it means I'm working virtually, you know. So then, now you're stuck with them. Office is operating. At the time, partner is not around, so you're fully running the office, fully running the kids at home. And then they were on virtual school as well. So at 8 a.m., you go sit with the first one for his virtual lessons. And you don't get up till 12 noon, picking phone calls, working on invoices. It's been crazy, while attending to the other 2 as well. But I think with everything, once you wrap your mind around it and you get into it and you set out to get it done, you get it done. So along the line, we had to figure out what works. Until the total lockdown was put in place, I normally would have to call in the office, check what has to be done in the morning, and then you delegate. If this client has to be seen, then it means somebody else has to go tend to that client. If we didn't have to, then as much as possible, virtually, we get to wrap up on what has to be done. Then once installations are ready, the installation team is there. Like you said, most clients like to have the personal feel. So if you have, some are comfortable because they've dealt with you severally, so they really don't mind. But for those who are so particular about it, it means you need to figure a way. I've had to go for meetings with my kids in the car. Because they're home and work has to be done. That's what pays the bills. So if the partner is around, then it's easier. He can handle whatever physical meetings if I need to handle something at the background. But at the point when it's just you, considering probably he's out of town or something, then
you have to play all the roles.
Yes. Mommy,
everything.
daddy,
Mommy, daddy,
driver.
Oh my God.
Everything, and it's not funny. So and it's not just about this timing. It's been, so you've just had to put it in another gear. Where you are running it full time indefinitely. You don't know when this staying home with the kids is going to end, so you need to figure a way around it. But right now, I work literally from the background, and my partner is out there getting the installations done, getting the operations team on whatever has to be. So initially,
you're finding a way to work around it.
We're working around it. It's not easy, but
I'll be coming to you right now. But I need to acknowledge the fact that I'm looking the way I am right now because of this wonderful woman called Buretex Clothing. You can locate Buretex Clothing at the railway area around Yahoo Clinic at the Airport West. Whatever kind of attire you want, she can sort you out. For the red carpet, for a naming ceremony, whatever it is. And you know what? Right now, we know that we're not really having to, attend a lot of social gatherings. It'll be good for you to just start stocking up, because as soon as the doors are all open, you will have a lot of activities to attend, and you need to also have your wardrobe represented. So let Buretex Clothing do that for you. Her phone number is right now on your screen. So give her a call and book an appointment with her. Thank you so much as you do it. But do not forget to let her know that you heard about her on the African Women's Voices show on ETV Ghana. Okay, coming over to the banking side. Okay. You know, the reason why I'm very particular about you is that you guys are always so prim and proper. You have to get it right. You look like so stiff. And I just wonder, even as a child growing up, people who worked in the bank, I always looked at them in certain ways because they always have to show this self-control. We've got it, in order. Everything is fine. Is that really how it is way at home when you have to work from home with kids to manage? In her own case, she's got 3 children, all under 6.
Yes, and I've got 2, all under 5.
So how did you have to work around that?
Very interesting.
Okay.
Very, very interesting.
Share.
So day one, I had a laptop, 2 phones, and then trying to figure out what to do first.
Okay.
The first thing that saved me was waking up at the right time. Okay, just like
Talking about waking up at the
Yes.
right time, I was
Yes.
going to ask, okay, she said you have to find a way to do it. Find a way in what way? Time factoring has to be considered here. Do you have
100%.
to sleep, you know, from a certain time to a certain time? Did you lose sleep? How was it? How early did you have to wake up to run your day?
good. So I literally had to wake up as early as would have if I was going to work.
Okay.
Because see, as much as it looks all fun, that's working from home, if you cannot go with a schedule, it will be chaotic.
Okay.
So now, the first thing you need to run your day as if you were going to the office. That's the first thing you need to do. See, setting those goals will keep you motivated, will give you a sense of direction. So you don't just work the whole day, and at the end of the day, you achieve nothing. Because remember that this time, you're not just working for your bank or your organization. You have kids, you have a spouse, you have a house to run. So you've got to have it clear cut, written it out.
Okay, so
waking
it's
up
not
at the
in the
right-
best of our interest to say, okay, I don't have to go to work. Initially, I would have woken up around 3 a.m., but now I can wake up at 8 a.m. because I do not really have to go to work. I need to just make phone calls and everything is fine. So if I just wake up around 8 a.m., they won't know I just wake up anyway. So I'll call them and check up on them and all of that. So
Wrong.
you are advising against
It's
it.
a wrong move to make.
Okay,
Because you'll end up getting distracted and be less productive.
okay.
See, my waking time set. After the waking time, I have something that I do. Either I pray or I go for a walk or go to the gym. You don't want to wake up and giddy jump on the laptop.
Okay.
You're just going to be even more stressed.
Yeah.
So I finish that routine. By the time I'm done, the kids are awake. It's usually good morning, mommy, blah, blah. So you also have a clear-cut plan for them. You have a schedule for them in order to allow you to be productive. Because remember that your employers are relying on your self-motivating abilities to keep working. At home, but your targets are still set. Yes, there's probably no one watching over your shoulders, but your numbers will show at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yes. So that helped a lot. So by the time I'm done, there's a time for breakfast. We have breakfast. I have my laptop. Now you need to find a dedicated space for yourself to work. So while they are busy doing homework, with either their dad watching over them or the nanny helping, I'm set in my little space, which is a fun part. It can be your kitchen. It can be an office. It can be a part of your room. It can be the veranda. Just keep that space for you and that little privacy for you to work. And that helped a lot. Yes, so from time to time, you can get up, stretch your feet to check up. Now, remember that kids work with routines. Not very much, especially we have under 6 years. Now, they will listen to you, but you must show by example. So waking up and keeping to the same routine as if they were going to school, just at this time, mommy and daddy are both home. They can touch you, they can play with you. You need to let them know that, yes, at this time, mommy needs to work. Yes, you can't run away from the screams. Mommy, at every little, but they need to know that. And as little as my kids are, they know that from time to time, when someone hears, he said, mommy is working. Mommy, where's your laptop? Where are your phones? Then we know. So then in the afternoon, actually my most challenging time is in the afternoon. Because usually after lunch, it's difficult to keep kids focused on homeworks. That is the time where they are running all over.
And then energy.
Gosh, and then I have phone calls to pick and I have a timeline to meet by 4, by 5. It's fun, it's adventurous. It tells us that, hey, we can do it all.
All right, I'd like to know how you were able to go through that right after this health tip and commercial break. So do stay with us because she's going to be explaining how she was able to get her kids to actually get used to the routine. We will be right back. Oh, wow. You're welcome back. This is the African Women's Voices Show on ETV Ghana, and we are live on Facebook at ETVG8. Just before we went on that commercial break, we were being told about how to get children to get used to the routine that you're going to be setting for them, because they need this routine to be able to get you to be able to work, because your employer expects you to be able to deliver. And she also mentioned that your numbers will show, you know, the bankers and the numbers. It's going to show if you're actually not doing your work right. So we're coming back to her to let us know how she was able to get them to, you know, try and work within the routine. We all know that it's not so easy to get them to do that. Even after that, we still have to keep working on it. So did you have to talk to them? Did you have to do the traditional thing that we do, you know, scold them? What did you really have to do?
The first thing with boys is to put a silver lining.
Okay.
So it's like, mommy is going to work. So the first day I got into the office, they didn't like that approach. The mere fact that I had to be locked up and they were outside. So they kept on banging and banging. Then I realized that it didn't work very much. So even though they were doing their homework, they didn't like it. So I realized that, okay, seeing me, they're open. So I decided to go into the family area with my laptop, comfortable, and make calls. They were more comfortable seeing me doing that because they were motivated to remain at their desk to do whatever scrambling or painting they were doing. Just once they see me do what I'm doing, they were good to keep on doing. The moment I move, they move.
As you move, they move.
They move. If I get up to pick up a call to go and talk, let's say to someone, something a little private, then they are all over the house. And then when you ask, oh, you got up, they too, they got up. So then we had to do that till they're settled eventually.
Okay.
So as I speak to you, the moment they don't see my laptop, I hear the little one say, mommy, where's your laptop? So you are sitting here. So they know my space, and amazingly, they don't disturb.
Just because they are seeing you in the same space where they are.
Where they are. And they've seen me working. The only thing I have to deal with is tone down, you know, kids and their voices. Even when they are, whatever they were screaming, please come down, I'm on the phone, or I have to move, come back. But that helped. So they know when they wake up after breakfast, it's time for them to sit and do homework, scramble, paint, all that time till it's lunchtime.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. Point to consider if you're someone who is in her shoes or has someone who is probably a friend who needs this tip. Do let the person know that we keep strategizing and changing the strategy as parents. So no one way works. If you observed what she was saying, she tried it one way, it wasn't really working as she wanted it to, and she tried a different approach. So we cannot just sit and say, okay, this is what you need to do. We are making suggestions and expecting you to be able to apply whatever you feel works for you. All right. So on social media, we had to see a lot of parents, especially dads, you know, having to carry their children, having to do some cooking. And well, have you guys recorded yours, yourself and your spouse? Have you recorded yours? Yes.
I have. I had to, because this lockdown made my spouse, so my partner is my spouse.
Okay.
At work, he's my partner. But when we come home, he's my spouse. I need to draw the line, so once we're in the office, we know it's official, it's formal, so no spouse issues in the office.
Okay, so that also helps you when you're working from home, because he gets to remember that, okay, right now we're having to work, so let's just do the partner thing.
You know, so like Anil was saying with the kids, when you're running your own business, it's important, especially if you're running it with your spouse as a partner, it's important to draw the line.
Okay.
It's very sensitive, but once you draw the line, it makes it easier. So then if we're at work and we need to discuss some personal issues, you need to switch to the spouse mode and discuss that. If you need to switch to the partner mode whilst you're in the house and you're discussing business issues, it's
you know, Kim, you really need to come back on the show to let us know how to switch.
I will.
Because that is one thing we really don't know how to do, how to switch from being the wife and then being the partner.
He still struggles with this. I have had to. So at the time when I had to decide to work with him, to run this business with him, we had a serious chat. I'm like, it's not going to be easy. But you'll need to get to the point, if this will work, then we need to get to the point where you'll see me as a partner once we're at work.
Okay.
And do not mix it up, because we're going to go into meetings, and that's not when somebody has to know you're my spouse, because we need to close the deal. You know, and the client doesn't care whether you're spouse or so. So you go there, and we've done so great. We keep our customers all, you know, attended to without bringing in any personal issues. You may be upset from the house because you probably had one or two, you know, running through. But you get to the office and
you're all smiles, you know, like everything is wonderful.
Yes, and with this lockdown, the kids were having their virtual school, so you end up with so many assignments. 1 week we had about 24 different assignments to submit for one of the kids.
That's a lot.
Yes. And when it comes to English and the social studies and all of those, I handle those. Mathematics and the visual arts and the creative sides, I leave
You just leave it to him?
One time I sat all through. My back was aching. I got up. I'm like, listen, I'm so done. Can you please take over? And then they had to come up with a submarine, and they had to come up with, I think, a seaplane or an airplane.
So how did you do that? Okay, he had to help you out. Because I doubt I'll be able to get my own child to be able to do that.
He had to, and I have videos of him sitting on the floor with the boys. And I know you need to. It's been fun. It's been.
Okay.
It wasn't easy. We had to adjust because he's a very prim and proper focused person. So like Anil was saying, get up. It has to be this way. And all of a sudden, we're stuck in one space. The kids get up. The first thing is, Mommy, can I have chocolates? Mommy, can I do this? Can I do that? No. You still need to, like she said then again, get the routine. They get up, they get into the bathroom, and then breakfast follows. You have these works to get done. So then it's given them time to bond. And but I'll say this though, it takes a lot of self-discipline to have to do this working from home, and especially running your own business in this space, in this time with your kids at home. If you don't take care, you have the whole day dedicated to the family. You wouldn't have had one thing done. Anil has her supervisors checking in.
Okay.
Over here, my supervisor
is your spouse.
My spouse. And he knows he needs to, he knows what has to be done in the house. And he knows what has to be done in the office.
Yes, at work. So how do you get to, you know, balance it?
There are times when I'm like, could you please take, yesterday I had to quickly run through. I was stuck with the kids. They had a program on one TV station. We came back and I got a call to have to go urgently attend to one thing for one of the kids. I had to call him from the office. I'm like, could you please just come take care of the boys? So I rush to go get this done. So it's either he's going to get it done or because nobody's around. You're trying so much not to get too many people in. Yeah. So the person who helps around the house is not coming through. I have my cousin around who helps. So it's somewhat helpful, but driver is not in. So you need to get up, get everything else done. So then, okay, if you're handling this, then I'll handle that. Else we'll have to switch, where he comes in, helps with the homework or whatever has to be done while I attend to clients. So we with the lockdown, we still had to work.
And you had to switch roles.
Switch roles.
If you have someone who is really understanding, the person knows that at this point in time, I don't really mind having to play the role of a mother or the role of a father at this time. We're just getting our work done. And that is really key for us here today. It's one of the takeaways. We all have to understand that we can't be stuck in one place. No. We need to be able to understand and be switching roles as it keeps coming. Okay, we're going to be opening the phone lines right after now. So please be on standby and get your phones ready, because we'll give you time to be able to tell us how you're coping or the challenges that you're facing, and, you know, whatever suggestion it is you have on your mind. We'll want to hear all of that. So we're going to be going for a commercial break. When we come back, the phone lines will be open. Just stay tuned. And you are welcome back. Just before we went on the break, I announced that we are opening the phone line. So if you've been watching, you could ask us questions based on what the conversations have been. And you have something else to share with us as to how you are making it work, you know, in terms of working from home. We would like to hear from you about that. So I'm moving over back to the ladies. As for the challenges, we've all, you know, talked about the challenges and how difficult it is. But are there moments that we feel that, you know, okay, this is really good, I'm happy to be working from home, aside the fact that you're keeping yourself safe from the virus? Are there happy moments, you know, something that you feel like, okay, I'd like this to really continue? You know, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, yes. Aside the challenges, good time. For instance, the one thing that I love the most about working from home is the energy.
The energy. Okay.
In the house, trust me. You wake up and no matter what went wrong during the night, it's bubbly.
Okay.
The kids, seeing smiles on your faces, on the faces in the house, keeps you, like, you wake up ready to face the day. That is the one thing that I love the most about working.
About having to work from home.
Trust me, no matter the stress you go through during the day, when a deal goes bad on the phone, you just see a human being passing with a beautiful smile, and you know, it calms you. I'm telling you, that is one thing that I love the most about it. Okay. So it keeps me, or it keeps most of us, in high spirits and ready to fight.
Okay. But I think I'm drawing something from what she's saying. The energy around you gets you motivated.
Yes, trust me.
Okay. All right. We have Theo on the line. Theo, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Birmingham.
Birmingham. Okay. So share with us, please.
In fact, it's not been easy with the kids around.
Oh.
I'm good.
Oh. So have you been able to learn something from our conversations as to how to get them, you know, to be in line better?
Yeah, you have to learn how to apportion your time and then try as much as possible to fill in the gap between.
Oh, it seems we lost Theo.
Hello?
Okay, yes, I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, Theo?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were listening. We could hear you.
I said it's not easy with the kids around.
Yes.
And you have to try as much as possible to apportion your time very well to be able to make up for the work as well.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. And we want you to continue to watch the show every Tuesday at 4 p.m., okay?
Okay,
Thank you. And greetings to everyone in Birmingham.
Okay, I will.
Okay, thank you. So you mentioned that the energy, you know, and I'm saying that I'm drawing inspiration from it because, you know, sometimes we actually work in a toxic environment.
Yes.
So if you are a superior that makes the environment toxic, know very well now that it's affecting productivity.
Yes.
And people are happy to work from home now because it's not toxic where they are.
Yes.
They are very, very happy.
Yes.
So please, supervisor, I think you also need to, you know, get something from what is being shared, or wherever you're working, even if you're a CEO or, you know, whatever role you're playing, but once you're a superior and you're making the environment toxic, working from home is something that has made us to know that, okay, we can actually have the best of energy and be very productive. Okay, so what are you also thinking about the high points, you know, when it comes to having to work from home?
You'd realize that unlike when so I've had to work for somebody before working with my partner.
Who is your spouse at home? I get that part.
Yeah, I was working for a company. Okay, fortunately, I've been in marketing my whole career. It's been in marketing. So, you know, when you start off as a salesperson, a marketing person, you make every excuse to be out there and, you know. But you get to the point where you realize you don't have to be.
Okay. Sorry, please hold your thoughts. Nicholas, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Nicholas. Please, where are you calling from? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. From Pokwasi.
Pokwasi. Wow.
Yeah.
How is Pokwasi?
It's fine.
Okay, nice. So please, what would you want to share?
Yeah, I want to comment about your program, and I need something. I need a lady to marry and take care. That is my problem.
Okay, so how would you want us to help you? You need a woman to marry.
Yeah.
Okay, so because there's lockdown, you're not able to access women or something.
Come again?
So why are you not getting the woman to marry? What would you want us to do for you to get you the woman to
No,
marry?
I want to pass through you, see, if you can connect me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Anyway, we actually talk about women and how women are empowering themselves and contributing to society.
I know. I'm listening to you now. And
But having to link up people and be the love doctors, well, not about the show, but we have a different show called In Bed with Adrian. So maybe you just check out our program schedule and find out when we have In Bed with Adrian, and then you get more information.
all right,
Okay,
all right,
it's on
thank you.
Fridays,
Yep.
okay? So he'll get you sorted. He'll give
Okay.
you counseling on that. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you were saying.
As I was saying, I worked with a company before, Calamax, and in sales, you take every opportunity to be out there, especially when your superior things, you feel you need to come across as working. So you get up and you drive all the way to Tema just to go hand a proposal you could send via email. Along the line, I had a boss who told me, you don't need to work hard, you need to work smart.
Okay.
So you don't need to be present to get things done.
Right.
You need to get used to getting the things done remotely.
Remotely.
And this was when I started attending to my clients mostly virtually. So then I got to the point where I was pregnant with my first. I didn't have to do a lot of my client calls, but I was always in touch with my client to the point I had the baby, and some of the clients didn't even know I had been pregnant, and they didn't feel my absence. So you're mostly sending emails, you're calling them, so they don't even realize you're not there. What I would want people to take away from
Our conversation
this,
today.
yes, is you could get a whole lot done for work without being there. So you could be home all through. You could be in touch with your company, with your team. You could decide what has to be done. But now there's so many ways of getting things done without
Awesome.
having to drive over to a client.
Awesome. I hear we have another caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Please, what's your name?
Good evening. My
Good
name is Karen,
Karen. Where are you calling from?
Cape Coast.
Cape Coast.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so what would you want to share with us on the show?
Yes. Kim is my motivation. I'm actually her younger sister.
Oh, and I want
Yes.
to believe you're also working from home because I can hear the baby's voice in the background.
I have 5 kids.
Oh my God. Oh,
I have
nice.
5 kids. And she's been our bone and everything, our inspiration.
Oh.
And she has supported us.
Oh.
Today, I just want to tell her that we love her.
Nice.
And we'll continue to love her.
Nice.
Her nieces and then her nephews are so proud of her. And
Hey.
we'll continue to be. We love you, Kim.
I love you
Continue to
too.
be. I'm sure Mommy is happy wherever she is. Mommy is in heaven, and she's going to be so proud of you.
Oh,
Kim, we
nice.
love you. We love you
Nice.
so much,
Thank
sister.
you, Karen.
We love
I love
you.
you too.
Thank you so much, Karen. I mean, this is so thoughtful of you. You know, talking
Yeah.
about the positive vibes that we need to get from each other. You are awesome, Karen.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
so keep watching the show. Or do you have something else
she
to say?
takes us wherever she goes, so you now have a lot of views. Everybody
Okay.
is watching, recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, for me, if I'm to share what I think that we should also be looking at, you know, as a takeaway, is the fact that employers now know that we can still be
Yes.
productive without
From
being
home.
in the
Yes.
office.
Yes. Yes.
Because it used to be an issue where people feel like, okay, if you maybe call in sick or you're not feeling well, some employers feel that you're just trying not to come and do your job, you just want to rest.
No.
But you can now do it even from home.
Yes.
And we need our employers to please understand that working now can be done from home. So sometimes they should understand.
To add something.
Okay.
Still in the same line of thoughts, what we've noticed is that working from home has no boundaries.
Okay.
Okay, so it could be bad and good, but I think it's good for productivity because you realize that as early as 6 a.m., as a team, we are all up and running on our phones and emails. Contrary to when we were going to the office, until we are physically in the office from 7:30 to 8, nothing happens.
Nothing happens, yeah.
Yes.
True.
Has no boundaries, and at least, even when you close after 5, you can still be reached out for a telephone conversation.
Yes.
We share ideas. As like the team is literally working 24/7, I'm telling you.
I really get what you're
Yes.
saying, because
Yes.
now we are so much into trying to make sure that we are so close to our customers.
Yes.
We do not want them to feel the
That is
void
it.
or our absence.
Yes.
So
That
we are
is it.
making the extra effort
Effort.
to keep them
Yes.
with us.
Yes, and even though we don't see each other as colleagues to interact with with social media, WhatsApp, whatever the tools are, we are in touch. We talk,
Awesome.
we exchange ideas, we talk. So we don't, okay, yes, we don't, of course, we can hang, but the mere fact that we communicate daily, and I think it has also enhanced our staying in touch with each other.
So on the staying in touch point, I hear we have another caller, please. Who is on the line? Okay, all right. So, okay, we lost that call. All right, and it's also good to know that even the group WhatsApp pages are working now.
It's
Initially, the
helping.
WhatsApp groups, in the offices, you
helping.
don't say anything to each other. But now, everybody say, hello, how are you? Everybody's trying to now bond and, feel good about each other. Well, it's interesting how time goes or flies, because it's 5 p.m. already, and we'll have to close the show. So please, if you have enjoyed what we discussed today, we would like to hear from you on our various social media platforms. Let us know what it is that you're doing to be able to work from home, for other people to also get inspiration from whatever you're going to be sharing. And do remember that this show is proudly brought to you by Voltic, and I am proudly dressed or clothed by Buterax Clothing. And our ladies here have been very wonderful, haven't they? Of course, they've been so wonderful. And it's been delightful having to have this conversation with you. And I want us to do this again, maybe around a different topic. But definitely both of you ought to come back on the show again. All right, thank you very much from my director, my producer, the sound man, the crew. We want to say thank you so much for looking out for us and all the questions you've been asking. When is the show coming back? The show is back on because the lockdown has been eased and we can talk to you better now. So see you same time next week, but the repeat broadcast is going to be coming up on Saturday at 12 noon if you missed it. All right. So stay safe and ensure that you sanitize your hands and you socially distance yourself. Bye-bye.